Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Happy Hour podcast with Purpose on Tap. Today we have with us Grammy-nominated Montell Jordan. You guys probably know him from his famous song, "This Is How We Do It," that has been popularized through the 90s, the 2000s. It's been on Mountain Dew commercials. We've all seen it. And we are so privileged to have him here today. Welcome, Montell.
Thank you. Yeah. Glad to be here. I'm actually a Grammy Award winner now.
Oh, wow. Sorry. Grammy Award winner.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's on me.
The Googles can't keep up sometimes.
Yeah.
The internet's in a behind. They're behind.
Yeah. Okay. No, we're so honored in having you here and getting to hear a little bit about what's made you into who you are and how you've been able to inspire so many people at a national and a global scale. So I guess my first question to you, just out of my own curiosity, is like, what led you into music? I mean, you're tall. I don't know, you're probably like between 6'6" and 6'8". I'm sure sports and all these other things were things that you considered, but what initially led you into music? Where did that inspiration come from?
I was a church kid. I was brought up in a little Baptist church in South Central Los Angeles, California. And so whenever the church doors was open, I was up in there. And I was trained as a child musician, probably about the time I was like 9 or 10 years old. Pastor kind of took me and some other kids, and every summer for a couple of years, he would just kind of have us in the church playing piano, organ, drums, bass, and so we just became, in the era of music of the Clark sisters and Commissioned and the Crouches and stuff like that, of gospel music. That was the space that we were trained as kid musicians to play for the church. And so initially, I didn't find music. Music found me through the church, and the church basically kind of became the farm league for the music business. It would become like the training ground, you know, for me to start doing music. And I've never read music. I've always played music by ear, and I've always wanted to read music, and I've even tried to read music. Impressive. And what I eventually would learn is that reading music allows you to play the songs that are written, and playing by ear allows you to play the songs that aren't yet written.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
that's so awesome. Somebody that obviously has to not read music but to play by ear is someone that I like, and I think that you like as well, Stevie Wonder.
Of course.
I listen to some of the stuff, and it's a huge inspiration to you. Talk about how Stevie and maybe Ray and some of these other people that you grew up in the era of helped to inspire your ability to create and read and write and all these things.
Well, Stevie Wonder plays a very, very significant part of my musical upbringing. I was born in 1968, so I'm 56. I'm half 100 plus 6. And when I was coming up, you know, I listened to lots of different music. You know, grandmamas and grandpas always played. I'm an old soul, so I grew up on the Frankie Beverly and Mays and Donny Hathaway and music from an era before our Isley Brothers, you know, and that was just kind of the stuff that I loved then and I love now. Stevie Wonder to me was and is like untouchable. Like he is the pinnacle of music artistry, of gentleman, of consciousness. Like he is all of that. And for I think what's interesting for me in regard to Stevie Wonder in particular is when I was brought up doing music in church, and eventually my heart desired to do music outside of the church. I was very conflicted because I was, you know, told, you know, you knew the devil's music, and that journey of going that pathway of doing music that may impact the world, there was a lot of conflict that came with that. And the thing that I held on to was Stevie Wonder is not a gospel singer, and somehow I hear God in his music. And that for me was, Inner Visions is my top album of all time, favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
And there's a song on that album called Vision in My Mind. And Stevie Wonder, he's talking about a lot of incredible things, and for a man that does not have sight, he says this line when he gets to the bridge. He says, I'm not one who makes believe. I know that leaves are green. They only turn to brown when autumn comes around. I know just what I say. Today's not yesterday and all things have an ending. But what I'd like to know is, could a place like this exist so beautiful? Or do we have to find our wings and fly away to the vision? And I hear that and I would feel God
Yeah.
in that song. And for me, it was like, how can you tell me that God is not in that? You know, if I hear a child's lullaby, that's not a gospel song, but somehow I can hear God in a child's lullaby. And so I think in the back of my mind, I started thinking, can I create from what the Creator is giving me?
Come on.
Can I create things that honor God that are not necessarily for the church? Because I believe that when we worship God, that is us taking the gift of music and giving it back to Him. But I believe the gift of music is a gift that He gave to us. And a lot of times we don't recognize that He gave music to us as a gift to soothe, to love, to fall in love, to break up. Like there's tons of usage that God says, I want you to have this. It's a gift. I want you to use that gift properly. I want you to use it appropriately. I'd love for you to use it that will honor me, but I'm giving it to you. So opera music is for us, and country music is for us, and R&B music is for us. And we're supposed to use it responsibly, and worship music is for Him. But so that's just my personal thoughts on music.
Yeah. Some of the most staunch atheists I think have heard, you know, they'll hear stories about, you know, the resurrection, and they'll have all the ancient artifacts and all the facts presented to them. But they say the thing that makes them really rethink their idea of God is music, because they can't explain the sensation it is that they're getting from it. It's just like this otherworldly feeling, especially when the music is so pure, that's so divine.
Yeah.
I know Adele, at least for me personally, she has this song, I think that she's got from Bob Dylan, which is Make You Feel My Love. That's the gospel, right? I'll go hungry, I'll go black and blue, I'll go traveling down the avenue, I'll go to the ends of the earth for you. That's right. To make you feel my love.
Yeah.
You know, and that's exactly Bible. What Jesus did. That's literally the gospel, you know? So it's awesome, and I'm sure you've had an awesome experience unknowingly bringing people to God, because they started looking for what it is that you had.
The Bible is the greatest love story, bro.
Yeah.
It's tragic.
Right.
It's beautiful, and it's tragedy. It's like literally someone who loves someone so much, they're willing to die for them, and the other person doesn't reciprocate that. Like, I'm constantly chasing someone who doesn't want to be caught. And then I will allow myself to get caught. And then I'll love you, and I'll do what we need to do. And then I'll go back to my old ways. This is the children of Israel. Like, this is just from beginning to end, this journey of God forever longing for His people. And I think that the beauty of that in telling modern day stories with modern day songs is that, you know, I don't think there's a story that's really created that's not in some way influenced or taken from, you know, the greatest book of all time. And I think music definitely comes from and is inspired by the book.
So transition us to your journey through R&B, and then eventually making the full transition to being a worship leader and being more or less gospel focused. What was that like? Take us through like the peaks, take us through the troughs, and let us know how you were able to progress to get to where it is that you are right now.
Yeah, well, brought up in church, went to the music business. Some people say that when it comes to ministry that you go to seminary. I say I went to cemetery, meaning I went to the music business because I had to go there and I had to die there to actually to find my life. And while I was in the music business, which is and can be a very, very dark place, my wife and I were still, as much as we could be, lights in a very dark world. We loved Jesus. We were not consistent churchgoers at that time because I can remember, I think it was the year 1995. I think it was 96. My wife tells me it was 95. So I'm just going to say between 95 and 96, one of those 2 years, I only slept in my own bed for 13 days out of the year, out of an entire year. I was only home for 13 days.
Oh, wow.
And that's how rigorous the schedule was with touring and tour buses and flying and hotels and here and there and overseas and passports and all of that. And being a part of a local church, being a part of a community, being a part of the body of believers, there was a part of me that was like, I have been in church since birth. I have played music in the church for Monday's financial meeting, and Tuesday's teacher meeting, and Wednesday's Bible study meeting, and Thursday's choir rehearsal, and Friday's senior choir rehearsal, and Saturday morning's youth choir rehearsal, and then Sunday for I lived practically in the church. And I think I don't want to call it betrayal, because betrayal is a strong word, but I think at the time I felt like musically, when I wanted to expand and do things outside of what I had done since birth in church, I felt like if you do that, you're turning your back, on God. And it was like, I feel like you're turning your back
on me.
And so I was like, well, I'm going to take Jesus, and I'm going to take this thing that I feel in Stevie Wonder music. I'm going to take this thing I feel in Lionel Richie song. I'm going to take this thing that I feel, and I'm going to try and impact the world. I know I've done some great things in ministry, but me and my wife are going to go, and we're going to see if we can not just impact church people, but we can impact the people in the world with our music. And so that became the exodus of normal corporate structured church services, and for years, I think, everybody wasn't streaming online and couldn't get the gospel like that on YouTube. YouTube wasn't around at the time, so it was, if we were in a city and we could get to a church, or somebody invited us to go to church, we'd go to their church. But most times we would not. We would just read our Bibles, and we would try and stay as connected as we could to God. And at some point, we did find a church home that was flexible to allow us to kind of come and go as we needed to. But it was a little Hollywood.
Sure.
It was a little, when I could pull up to church, they had, special security to help me not get,
mobbed,
and I'm not knocking what that was, because there were weeks when I'm in church and people are coming up, well, will you sign my Bible? Will you sign my Bible?
Yeah.
And will you sign my Bible is like a real thing.
Right.
It's a real thing. And so to be able to come and have an authentic worship experience in church was very difficult. It was very, very difficult. And so, but we knew we needed it. We knew we needed the word. And it was really trying to get in and get out. And we did that for many years. And, we're talking now like a 30-year career. Yeah. So I'm giving you, the first, 7 to 10 years of all of this. But basically, me and my wife went into the music business. I was the artist, she was the manager, and we stood 10 toes down on, we're going to do this together. And the biggest challenge was nobody could know that we were married initially.
Interesting. Why is that?
Well,
similar to Abraham and Sarah in the Bible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
So literally the journey was, we got married right after I got my record deal. We got married, and before This Is How We Do It came out, we were married, and she was my manager. And what was given to us is, well, first of all, let me say this: there's a formula. There's a musical formula. If you want to be successful in the music business, guys have to want to be you, and girls have to want to be with you.
Let it out.
If you can do those two things, guys want to be you, women want to be with you, you can be successful. And so for me, getting into the business, being married was like, women are not going to want to be with you if they know you're taken. Nobody wants an unavailable R&B artist. Right. You have to be available.
It's like negative aura points in a certain sense.
That's it. Right. Absolutely. Right. And when it came to my wife, it was like, you're the manager, but you're also the manager because you're the wife. And so nobody's really going to respect you as the manager if they know you're the wife. So that whole journey was like, okay.
Interesting.
I won't be Kristen Jordan. I'll be Kristen Hudson. I'll keep my maiden name, even though we're married. And in the public eye, I'll be the manager. Wow. And so keeping her maiden name, also was a rejection of my covering over her in marriage. And so is she submitted to me as a wife to a husband? Is she submitted to me as the artist to manager, or is the manager the head and she tells the artist what to, like, it was
Interesting.
chaos, man. It was very, very difficult. And so I'll try and fast forward through that, because that's many, many years of us trying to hold on to God on this roller coaster ride of the music business, of #1 records, of temptations and difficulties, and the enemy, you know, he knows what your thing is or what your things are. And so that became a test for us in the music business, in my life. Interestingly enough, the things that I did not struggle with were not things that came from me. You know, I struggled with alcohol, and I struggled with loneliness, or with improper relationships with women.
Yeah.
And so because of that, and because the enemy is cunning, nothing else came to me that was like, I was never on the road and somebody was like, hey, you want some cocaine? Like, that never happened to me. You want some weed? Like that never happened to me. But yet anybody who was a part of our group that traveled around the world, if you struggled with same-sex attraction, it did not matter what city we went to, somebody was going to approach that person that dealt with that. For me, it was alcohol. And so from that standpoint, it was like, no matter where I went, every alcohol on the planet, top shelf, was always made readily available for me for free. For free. And so everybody's thing, everybody's vice, everybody's whatever, somehow followed us all around the world, to every single country. Even later in life, man, when I stopped drinking, and I would put in my rider, no alcohol anywhere. Somehow my dressing room happened to be the bar, where you could just look in and just see all the way up to the ceiling, all the stuff, you know. And so, but long story short, my vices found me, and when it came to my wife and our marriage, there was infidelity on my part. And initially, what started out as seemingly harmless flirtations and things like that, and it just, you know, the enemy just took it step by step by step, city by city by city, year by year by year, and it just became this web of not being able to escape. Interesting, I can remember when I was young, my mom, who's an amazing woman, she's now been married to her husband for, I want to say, they just celebrated like their 22nd year. She was married to my dad first, to Mr. Jordan. Then she was married to another gentleman later, and he died in a tragic accident. So this is her third marriage, her final marriage, I believe. But I can remember way early on, way early, probably when my mom and dad initially were going through their difficulties. And I remember my mother said, she said, I would rather be with the wrong person than to be alone. And that was a very striking statement to me. And it was a very honest statement because of at the time or in life or whatever was happening, you know, at that time. I don't remember exactly where she was, but I remember that. And I remembered there was something that was planted in me that I think I don't think she planted it. I think it may have been there, and maybe she watered it. But there was something in me that also felt that same thing. Like, I would rather be with the wrong person than to be alone. And so I would be out on the road, we'd be traveling places, and I could go out and I could stand in front of the Georgia Dome, 77,000 people, screaming, deafening screaming for me, screaming Montell Jordan.
Still feel alone.
77,000 people.
Yeah.
And I can remember going back to my hotel room after that show and locking my door.
Dude.
And the silence be more deafening than the screams of the people out in the stadium, because I did not want to be alone. I'm married. Yeah, you screaming. Yeah, you want me. Yeah, you throwing panties at the stage. Yeah, you give me whatever. Let me go. I'll leave the alcohol. I'll leave everything. And I'll go and tuck myself in my room. And when I would be there by myself in the room, it would be like a starved desire for attention.
Dude.
And so I can tell the people who were around me at that time, we would play Monopoly in the lobby. Show would be over at 9:00. We would play Monopoly in the lobby till 5:30 in the morning.
Jeez.
Like, would Jay-Z say, play Monopoly with real cat? Like, we did that for years.
Yeah.
And if I didn't do that, then if somebody said, hey, let's just go watch movies, we'll go watch movies. Let's go to the club. Let's go to the club. I didn't want to be alone.
Dude.
And so whatever could keep me focused on something, even if it was good or if it wasn't good, eventually I just didn't want to be alone. And so that started the trajectory of improper entertaining people, entertaining, somebody that's smiling or super flirtatious or whatever. And I'm giving that energy back. I know I'm not supposed to, but man, I just, and I did that, man. And I let the enemy basically put a noose around my neck and string me up, man. And it was devastating. It was years of, and it wasn't like I'm just dipping in every one. It wasn't that. It was just started out as improper relationships, that I'm just spending time here, or I'm just holding your hand here, or I'm just getting too close here, or we'll just go, what's dinner? What's the problem with dinner?
Right.
Everybody going to a movie. What's wrong with what's wrong with in the club? Just kind of like it just little by little compounded from city to city to city, compounded city to city to city, year. And after all that time, I don't know, it's to have to at one day to have to tell my wife everything was probably the most, I don't even have a word for what I think she had to endure of taking that from me. And, but for the record, all of that sin for all of those years, I used to wear it. So it was in my weight. It was in how I carried myself. It literally became a part of how I moved. And when I did finally come to the place of sharing that with her, it was like years of sin literally came off me. And now she had to carry what I had been carrying all of those years. Devastating, bro. Devastating. But let me try and put a big bow on that. Ultimately, the music business was not conducive for marriage. And somehow, through the grace of God, through forgiveness, through making very, very difficult decisions to choose my marriage over music, to choose significance over success.
That's good.
To make those transitions, God preserved our marriage. He preserved our family legacy. And today we've been married now for 31 years to each other. We now have 5 kids, 5 grandkids. What the enemy wanted to steal and kill and destroy, we do marriage ministry now. Now that's crazy. Makes no damn sense. And I'm sorry to say that way, but that makes no sense. What we went through is now cemetery or seminary. It now qualifies us for almost doctorate in marriage spaces, because we can speak to things that some people cannot. Some people can speak into, hey, you should forgive. Right. And they can really mean that. Right. But they don't have the equity in having to do it.
Come on.
Like we had to do it so that God could do what only He can do. And so I don't know how far I've strayed from the
No, this is
question
good.
that we were talking about,
We've been
right?
flowing, man, but that's what it is. I think that what I was hearing from you is
God healed our marriage.
Okay.
God healed our marriage. And people will come to us now and they say, hey, we need you, Montell and Kristen, we need y'all to help heal. We don't heal marriage. I heal nothing. I cannot, but I know who can because He did it. And so what we are now, from music business manager and artist, we've navigated those waters to where at some point it was like, I'm willing to let all of this go.
Wow.
All of what the world wants to give me, I'm willing to give all this away for what God wants for us. And that's another big journey that we have taken, and a big journey that we've been on, and a journey that we are still on today to help save 1 million marriages and to be more significant than we were successful.
Yeah, no, I think of so many other people that are even in my generation that I'm listening to, right? You have like a Lecrae or like a Dante Bowe, or another young and coming guy is Caleb Gordon, right? And you know, these dudes are getting catcalled from the world because it seems as if like their talent is starting to transcend kind of like just like the local church.
Yeah.
And it's hard, you know, it's an offering, right? In the Bible it says the land is established by justice and he who receives bribes overthrows it, right? So it's like, I guess, what would your advice be to those guys that are going to be possibly entering into similar domains and face the same types of temptations as you?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Lecrae. Like, that's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
That is a guy we do life together. Yeah. And I will only say this because he has said it.
Yeah.
But he and his wife are people that we have walked alongside of
Yeah.
in their journey, in their highs and in their lows
Yeah.
of their lives. And so what I would say to anybody is the same thing that I would say what we said to them, which basically deals with surrender. I think we don't understand not just life and death and the power of the tongue, but understanding that we say stuff and not understand what we're actually saying. So I said a few moments ago that the enemy desires to steal and kill and destroy.
Yep.
People say that and they make it as though it's one thing. It's not one thing. Oh, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's not one thing. That's three things.
Right.
That's three different things.
Yeah.
That says, I not only want to steal from you.
Right.
I not only want to steal your marriage. I not only want to steal your hope. I not only want to steal your joy. And there's a difference between robbing someone and stealing. Right. Because if I'm robbing you, I'm taking it and you know it.
Right.
If I'm stealing from you, you may not know it.
Interesting.
So from the first standpoint, I want you to not know
That's good.
that I am taking something from you.
Right. Because you're focused on something else. It'll distract you.
You don't know that it's
Right.
been taken.
Yeah.
I'm coming to steal it from you.
Yeah.
But that's not enough. Me getting away with taking it from you and
Right.
you not even knowing it.
Yeah.
You don't even know it's gone.
Yeah.
But that's not good enough for me.
Right.
After I've stolen it,
Yeah.
now I want to kill it. So the thing that you don't even know that I've taken from you,
Right.
I've taken your intimacy, I've taken your livelihood, I've
Right.
taken your character,
Right.
I've taken it, you didn't even know it was gone,
Right.
but I've taken it, and now that I've taken it, it's not enough for me to have it, but I want to kill it.
Dang.
I want to kill it because I want it to die. I want it to not be able to live again. And listen, that's still not enough. After I've stolen it, after I've killed it, now I want to destroy it.
Yeah.
Because even the thing that I killed, I don't even want people to see that it ever even existed. So
Man.
what I stole and what I killed, I want there to be no indicator that it ever existed. That's what the enemy's coming to do. He wants to steal and kill and destroy. That's compound interest. He wants to get it all. And when you understand an enemy that hates you like that,
Man.
somebody that hates you like that, I don't just want to steal. I just want to kill. I want to utterly obliterate
Come on.
that.
Right.
And so I think when I am talking to men, when I'm talking to young guys, I'm talking to marriages, I'm talking to pastors, I'm talking to ministries, I'm talking to you.
Right.
When I'm talking to you, nobody goes into a battle with wisdom not counting the cost.
Dude.
Nobody goes into a fight saying, I'll just fight whoever. Nobody fights out of their weight class. In all of these instances, you study to show yourself approved. You have to position yourself to know who your enemy is. And the only way you can know who your enemy is you've got to study what your enemy does, because he's got the same tricks. He doesn't, he's not that creative. He can only deal with what's actually there. He can't even deal with your future. He only deals with your past. And so from that standpoint, you have to be able to study your opponent and understand, like I said, enemy didn't come to me with weed. Why would he do that? That's dumb. How am I coming at you? I'm coming at you because you'd rather be with the wrong person than to be alone. That's how I'll come at you. And so we have an incredibly awesome, wonderful God who has defeated the enemy. And somehow we still give license to the enemy to be close enough to everything that we have in our lives, rather than putting that hedge of protection around what we have to protect it properly.
I guess one last question that I'll ask is, what Bible verse, understanding that, right, and the fact we're in a spiritual war is basically what you were saying just now, right? And the enemy is trying to steal, to kill, to destroy everything that God's given you, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately your soul, right? The literal life of God that is inside of you, the shama, the breath of life that's in you. He wants to have that be obliterated as if there was no memory of that, right? So what Bible verse will you say you can give to people to help them understand that, and to, in a certain sense, armor them for the battle it is that they're gonna have to go through?
Man, that's a difficult one for me. And the reason why it's difficult is because I think, Scripture being the word of, like, breathed life of the word of God, the living word, for people, I think that there are different words in the Bible. There are different scriptures and different passages that are uniquely designed to be your verse, the verse that resonates, with you. So a verse that I can use, that I think, if I wanted to give if I want to give a blanket for everyone, Kristen and I, for us, is Ephesians 2:10. For you are God's masterpiece, or you are God's workmanship. This is where all of our marriage masterpiece, everything came from. And actually, masterpiece, or from almost like a mosaic of broken pieces. We believe that marriage is, in all the different things, with my career, my job, my life, my kid, that we believe that marriage is like the masterpiece of that puzzle that kind of puts everything together. Because God, marriage wasn't our idea. Marriage was a God idea. Even all his terminology is, we're waiting for a bride.
Dude.
we're the bride. You're waiting for the groom to. Like, marriage is important to God, and so from that standpoint, we are God's masterpiece. That for me is just a reminder for me. It's a reminder for everybody that I'm in contact with, that God's not done, and that he will accomplish everything in you that he set out to do. And from that standpoint, I think that's the reminder for me on a daily. When I fall, it's a reminder for me when I don't show up the way I need to, when I'm navigating whatever I'm navigating in life. Right now, I'm navigating prostate cancer. Second journey with prostate cancer. Had my prostate removed in November of 2024. 4 weeks ago, some more cancers back in my lymph nodes, and so even in a bout of cancer, and where I am navigating that right now with my wife, with my family, with the world, I go and I know that I am God's workmanship. I am his masterpiece. And he is not done with me. And so I think that is not just a hope for me, but it's a hope for anybody out there, that of all the amazing verses that we can apply to our lives, of be courageous, be strong and courageous, all the different things we can apply. I think knowing that we're not a masterpiece, we are his workmanship. We are his masterpiece. We're his. And so that for me is, that's identity. That's whether no matter what I am in workmanship, meaning whatever is being worked in me, I know that whatever is being worked, whatever masterpiece, whatever is happening, I am his. And then knowing that I am his masterpiece, I am his workmanship, I am his. That word his is belonging. That word his is identity. That word his is fathering. That word his allows me to know that I can know who I am because I know whose I am. And I think just from that space right there, Ephesians 2:10, for we are his, even if I just got rid of masterpiece and workmanship, for we are his. That right there is the starting and the ending point.
Well, it's awesome, and whether you know it or not, I truly do believe that, in a sense, like your modern day Moses. Moses fled from Egypt to the wilderness, the eventual wilderness that he was going to bring the children of Israel through. So God allowed him to go through the wilderness because he was going to have them lead them through the wilderness. So the wilderness that you're leading people through, especially within marriage counseling right now, is because you were able to go through that yourself. So I think that it's a tremendous blessing, and so many people have been able to learn, from the things that you've had to suffer through in your marriage, and we're incredibly grateful for that.
Thank you.
But yeah, guys, thank you for joining us in our podcast here at Purpose on Tap. Montell
Happy Hour!
The Happy Hour podcast at Purpose on Tap. Montell will be speaking to a group of us. It's probably going to be a couple hundred people, sharing more of his testimony and also some stories that he's had in his rise to fame. So thank you guys, and we look forward to having you guys on the next podcast.